You are watching Yeticket.com with Al McGee, movie reviews and interviews. This is Yeticket.com, Yeticket.com, your entertainment ticket.
We are your entertainment ticket, that's right. Yeticket.com. We are your entertainment ticket, that's right.
Hey, I'm Al McGee with your entertainment ticket. I'm here at Boca Pal Gym, but I'm here with a very, very good trainer. Also, ex-champion, two-time champion, John David Jackson. And what we're going to talk about today is how he trained Kovalev, Sergey Kovalev, to win over Chimbala in Russia. John, welcome back.
Thank you, Al. It's a pleasure to be back with you on your show.
Now, what did you have to do to get Sergey to really fight this guy and different things he had to do? Because he didn't knock him out, but he didn't knock him down in the 7th round, but he didn't knock him out. So what did you have to do differently to train him to defeat Chimbala?
Well, for this fight, actually, Al, it was a different fight for Sergey. He kind of trained himself mainly for this fight. I came to camp 2.5 weeks prior to the fight. So a lot of what I usually do with him was not allowed to be done because he wanted to train himself for this fight. And it showed in the fight because he wasn't as well prepared as he should have been.
Now, why did he want to train himself?
Well, you know, fighters sometimes get that way. They think that they're bigger than they.
Oh, they think they know it all and things like that.
But it was a learning experience for him, and I'm glad he did what he did because it allowed him to realize that he is not where he thinks he is, and he does need other people in his corner and just to be there to help guide him in his career. And so now he's going to go back to the drawing board and get ready for Andre Ward, which is definitely going to be a tough fight. Chilumba was tough. His style kind of emulates Ward, so it was allowed us to do a few things that need to be done, but he didn't give himself the proper time or the proper training to be 110% ready for this fight.
So when you came there to Russia and you saw that, so what did you tell him, or show him what he had to do differently that he couldn't show himself?
Well, actually, what I did was I didn't try to show him too much more. I just tried to show him what to do as far as this fight, with to use the jab more, because he was looking for the right hand. And during the fight, all night long, he was looking for the right hand. It wasn't there because Chilumba wouldn't let it be there. Chilumba's, listen, a very cagey, slick fighter. Not super slick, but slick enough to avoid punches and be very evasive. Yeah, right. So what he did was he made Sergey miss just enough to avoid those shots so he could last the 12 rounds. He got dropped in the 7th, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was the 7th.
But once he got dropped, he said, no more. So Chilumba was a good fight for us. It was kind of like a measuring stick type fight, and it showed Sergey he needs to be 110% against Ward.
Yeah. Now, Chilumba is the second fighter to go 12 rounds with him. You know, your boy Hopkins was that. Well, how did Sergey feel about that?
Probably because it was in Russia, a little disappointed. I think he wanted that to be a showcase for his fans back home to see how he's champion now, how good of a fighter he's become. But he put too much pressure on himself with this fight. He tried too hard for the knockout. He was throwing one punch at a time. He wasn't throwing combinations like he should have thrown. Right. So it didn't allow him to be the fighter he should have been that night. He put too much pressure on himself mentally, and he wasn't prepared properly. In which he admitted to the press afterwards, it was his fault that he wasn't properly conditioned for that fight.
So now you're getting ready to train for Andre Ward. You think Andre Ward maybe accepted a fight now? You think he's going to show up?
I think with Sergey's last performance and the fight he just had, I think it's going to allow Andre to have a little bit more confidence within himself. Andre's a very good fighter. Confidence is not something that he really needs to be built up within him any longer. He has it there, but fighters have a tendency sometimes to be kind of leery of other fighters, and Sergey does present that problem because he does have power in both hands. But I think Ward's a good enough fighter that it's going to definitely be an interesting fight. And, Ward's going to be on top of his game. And a scary fighter is a dangerous fighter. So Ward will definitely be dangerous.
Well, Ward, he hasn't fought that much, though, in the last 3 years, or maybe 4 years. He hasn't fought a lot, and he hasn't fought a lot of good top 10 fighters. So you think Sergey going to overlook that and have too much, going to be overconfident that he's going to beat Ward because of that?
Not for this fight, Al. And I'll tell you why, because I'm not going to let him. I'm not going to let him think that he's all that and that Ward, listen, and everything you said, you hit right on the head. Ward has not been active. He's been very inactive. He hasn't fought the caliber of opponents that Sergey has, but he's still Ward, and he's going to train hard for this fight. And his fight on August 6th is not going to be a very hard fight for him, but having said that, you still have to realize he's still one hell of a fighter, and his record shows he's undefeated as an amateur. That's hard to do. He's undefeated as a pro. So, he definitely presents a problem for Sergey. Sergey has to be able to solve the riddle that is Andre Ward. So we'll see. It's an interesting fight, and we look forward to it. I think Andre Ward's going to show up that night.
And so y'all gonna start training soon? You and Sergey, or how soon you gonna start training for that fight?
Well, first we're going to do this press tour. And then once we finish the press tour, because Andre Ward fights August 6th. So once Andre's done, then we'll probably start in September, October, and then November. So we'll start sometime in September for that fight, and then be at least have a good 8 weeks out prior to the fight.
Where you gonna train?
Well, right now, I have to say a safe bet would be Big Bear first for the altitude, and then from there we'll take it from there. I love for him to come here, but he said it's too hot for him in Southern Florida. I don't want him to train in California because Ward's going to train in Oxnard Penitentiary, right on the corner from Sergey stays. Right. I don't want him to get any way of getting tape of Sergey doing anything. I want the fight to be the work has to be very private.
Right.
So, hopefully he'll come here. Hopefully.
Oh, well, good. Well, you got your work cut off for you, but you're a champion. Yeah. Not only that, you're the champion trainer and also ex-champion. Hey, do you miss being in the ring sometimes?
All the time. Any fighter that tell you they didn't miss it, they're lying too. We always miss it. We always look at some guy and say, I could beat that guy. But my old bus not getting in the ring with anybody now.
Well, thank you very much, John.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Always, man. Thank you very much. Much success to you again in the future and tomorrow.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.